It's the 13th of July, and this is your News Bite brought to you by eNCA.com. I'm Marcel Gordon, and in your news today, wanted in the UK in connection with the murder of his wife and kids, Ndodana Tshuma appears in a Johannesburg court. The Madlanga Commission has to scrutinise yet another sick note, and the World Cup semi-finals are upon us. There's still a long legal road ahead in the triple family murder case in the UK, which has now turned into an international story playing itself out in Joburg. British fugitive and main murder suspect Ndodana Tshuma will first stand trial here in South Africa and, if convicted, serve any sentence imposed on a charge of possessing an unlicensed firearm before he can be extradited to the UK. Tshuma, of Zimbabwean heritage, made his first appearance in the Joburg Magistrates Court on Monday. He was arrested in Kensington on Friday night during a joint operation by the SAPS and Interpol. Tshuma is accused of killing his wife, Notabo, and their daughters, 15-year-old Natalie and 5-year-old Nala, at their home in the village of Great Denham, east of London, before boarding a flight from Heathrow. The matter's been postponed to the 22nd of July to allow Tshuma to consult with legal representations and for authorities to verify his immigration status. Here's National Police spokesperson Atlenda Mate.
You have to be trialed and sentenced and convicted in South Africa. He will have to serve that time first before he's extradited out of the country back to the UK. But on the UK side, I have engaged with my colleagues from Interpol, and they have confirmed that they have been engaging with UK authorities.
It's raining doctor's notes at the Madlanga Commission, it seems. They now need to scrutinise a medical certificate submitted by Investigating Directorate Against Corruption head advocate Andrea Johnson after she failed to appear before the inquiry on Monday. Johnson was scheduled to testify before the commission but did not appear, citing ill health. The legal representative told the commission that Johnson had been rushed to hospital on Monday morning. A testimony has been postponed to a date yet to be confirmed. And the commission chair was not impressed. Saying it was a useless sick note that gave no real information. Last week, the commission heard claims that Johnson allegedly interfered in the handling of an assault investigation involving suspended crime intelligence deputy head Feroz Khan. eNCA's Pulile Jones spoke to commission spokesperson Jeremy Michaels.
We continue with the theme looking into IDAC tomorrow and the allegations leveled against the units from tomorrow.
Well, I can't say immediately what is going to happen tomorrow. Obviously, we've just heard the news that Advocate Johnson is unable to present due to her being sick. And so, as I say, the evidence leaders will make a call and we will advise you accordingly.
I mean, it's clear that the commission as well is looking carefully into some of the medical notes as well. You would have heard the chairperson saying this looks like one of those useless, vague notes again.
Well, yes, Justice Madlanga clearly calling into question the sick note that has been presented. And this is not the first time that the Commission is seeing such a sick note, as you will know. So at this point, again, obviously the Commission, both the evidence leaders and the commissioners will have to scrutinize that sick note in more detail before deciding what to do.
Meanwhile, the collapse of Vusimusi Kat Matlala's plea agreement has cleared the way for the fraud case to proceed to trial, with the MPA confirming its investigation will continue independently of the failed deal. MPA spokesperson Kaiser Khanyago says the plea agreement has been declared null and void. Matlala is expected to be reinstated as accused number 1 when the matter returns to the courts in September.
Yeah, definitely, because now the plea has been deemed to be null and void. Nothing that was in that plea, Thank you very much. Yeah, definitely, because now the plea has been deemed to be null and void. Nothing that was in that plea can be used. Therefore, we have got to continue with our own investigations from IDAC side. And then obviously the matter will come back here on the 11th of September. And what will then happen is we'll then ask for the court to then rejoin him as accused number 1 in the other case so that he can now be tried. Because by not accepting the plea, he's basically saying, I will want to go full force with the trial. Therefore, that's what is going to happen.
Mr. Kganyago, Slindalo Sabata from eNCA, how confident is IDAC with the investigations and the evidence you have so far? I mean, this plea deal was certainly going to be a win for the National Prosecuting Authority. It's null and void. You can't use anything he said in his statement. How far are you with the investigations of those he did implicate in his statement?
Yeah, obviously you would know that our matter in the other case was not dependent entirely on the plea, because we had already arrested people who were involved in this, and therefore we arrested them on the basis of the evidence we have against them, because we would not have done that. Therefore, the plea agreement came after. It was just to add more people that were going to be mentioned in the plea. Therefore, we'll do our own investigation and then get our own evidence. If it leads to all of them again, therefore, they will be arrested as per the way we did with the other.
There's been another postponement in the long-awaited inquest into the death of Anele Tembe. The inquest was supposed to start in the Cape Town Magistrates Court on Monday, but the magistrate postponed proceedings to September due to an unavoidable medical emergency. Now, you'll remember the 22-year-old Tembe fell to her death from the 10th floor of a Cape Town hotel in April of 2021. With her at the hotel was rapper Kenan, aka Forbes, to whom she was engaged at the time. A year later, the MPA decided not to prosecute anyone in connection with Tembe's death. But following AKA's murder in 2023, the matter was referred for an inquest. The Tembe family says it hopes the inquest will finally provide answers about what happened, and Tony Forbes, AKA's father, believes these proceedings are a crucial part of the legal process.
Thank you for the opportunity. For me, the inquest is part of the process, part of the law. It's got to run its course. And it's important that for not just for me, but for us as a family, that at the inquest, facts are put on the table. All along, we've been waiting for the inquest to happen so that the facts are put on the table in a balanced way. We are absolutely convinced that Kenan did not murder his fiancée. And the information that we've had proves that. However, what we're finding is that instead of the inquest, or whilst the inquest has not been happening in the media, for me, it's a concerted campaign of putting information out there which should be presented at the inquest and not in the media. The most recent was on Friday with News 24. Running story as if they had new footage and this is all old footage. This is footage that we've had access to. But for us, it was not a case of discussing these things in public. It needed to happen at the inquest. Unfortunately, we also are in a position where we also now have to put information in the public domain.
The football world was plunged into mourning this weekend following the news of the death of Bafana Bafana and Mamelodi Sundowns star Jayden Adams. His body had been found at a property in Cape Town. Police are busy investigating the circumstances around his death. Tributes have poured in from around the world, including a minute's silence observed at the start of the weekend's World Cup matches. Adams is being remembered as an exceptionally gifted player and one of South Africa's brightest football talents. Residents of Idis Valley in Stellenbosch, where Adams grew up, flocked to his family home to pay their respects. eNCA's Kevin Brunt spoke to his dad, Juanito Adams, and the general manager of Stellenbosch FC, where his talent first flourished.
Die familie vat dit swaar om dit te verwerk en dit gaat nie maklik wees om aan te gaan nie, maar alles seet gaat as makliker, dat raak nie makliker nie. Sy leer net om met dit te deel. So ons kyk maar vir die tyd vorentoe. Ja, die hele wêreld gewoon so die dood van Jayden en soos ek gesê het, is baie hard om te vat en ek kan sien die liefde wat die wêreld vir sy sokker gehad het en vir Jayden is overwhelming, regtig.
Stellenbosch FC also extended condolences to Adams's family, his loved ones, and everyone at Mamelodi Sundowns, saying his outstanding talent will never be forgotten.
Stellenbosch FC came along. So he started again with me when he played in the under 18 team, because I was the under 18 coach at the time. He was 16 turning 17. So he played with me there 1 year. Obviously Stellenbosch won the NFD and got promoted into the PSL. I got an opportunity to become the assistant coach of the Diski, and then he got promoted. So he played with me again in the Diski. So we had 2-3 seasons. We now really started to establish himself, start catching the eye of Coach Steve Barker, Wesley Sergel at the time, where, people started really taking note. But listen, this is a special talent, and he got his first call-up under 20 national team. So when he came back, that's when Coach Steve really was like, listen, let's start introducing this boy.
Police say they are still investigating the circumstances surrounding Adams's death.
In other news we're keeping an eye on, Minister in the Presidency, Ndodana Tshuma, says the South African government will not be paying compensation to Nigerian citizens repatriated from the country. Her comments come after the Nigerian government indicated that they would be demanding compensation for properties left behind in South Africa. Their nationals allege that they were forced to abandon businesses, homes and other properties, fleeing anti-migrant protests in South Africa. Reporting back from a cabinet meeting, Tshuma dispelled the claims, pointing instead to property rights guaranteed by South African law and officially registered businesses protected by the CIPC. 2 suspects found with human organs at a property in Anele in Soweto are set to appear in court. They were also found in possession of a vehicle stolen from the health department. And on to the world of sports. Italian top seed Jannik upped his game against a determined Alexander Zverev to retain his Wimbledon crown in a tough final. It's his 5th Grand Slam title. It was Zverev's first Wimbledon final, hot on the heels of winning the French Open, threatening an upset after taking an intense opening set, but eventually he ran out of firepower as Sinner stepped up to win 6-7, 7-6, 6-3 and 6-4. And then there were 4. After weeks of drama, the World Cup semi-finalists have been confirmed, with France set to take on Spain in Dallas on Tuesday, followed by Argentina versus England on Wednesday. France defender Ibrahim Konate says they are not afraid of Spain, but they are conscious of their opponent's quality and their near-perfect backline. Spain have conceded only 1 goal in the entire tournament to reach the Final 4 in search of a 2nd World Cup title, while France were most recently winners in 2018 and finalists 4 years ago. And that's how we wrap today's News Bite. For developments in these and more, keep an eye on eNCA.com and DSTV channel 403.